It's so exciting. For everybody joining in, my name is Stephanie. I am the Youth and Community Librarian at the Medicine Hat Public Library. Thank you so much for joining for our teen read aloud. This is very exciting. I had a lot of fun doing it last week. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you missed last week, we read the first volume in the graphic novel series called A Girl Called Echo, and this week we'll be reading volume 2, which is very exciting. So if you missed last week's stream, basically we met a Métis girl named Echo Desjardins, and we found out that she has these magical abilities to travel through time, and she travels back to through Canadian history and kind of sees Métis history unfold in front of her eyes, which is really cool. So we're gonna get started and check out what adventures she gets up to in volume 2, Red River Resistance. Now, just a forewarning, the book will be backwards. I apologize, but I'll be reading all the text and then showing the pictures, so hopefully that's easy enough for you to follow along. Before we get started, I'd just like to say that we are presenting this reading with permission from Access Copyright on behalf of Highwater Press, a division of Portage and Main Press. This is A Girl Called Echo, Volume 2, Red River Resistance, written by Katharina Burnett, illustrated by Scott B. Henderson, and colored by Donovan Yakuik. All right, without further ado, let's get started to see what Echo's up to. Present day. Ring, 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 ring. Going to school. Hey there, you're Echo. You're in my English class, right? Oh, I think so, says Echo. I'm Micah. How are you liking MX Français? They're pretty tough, hey? History class. Throughout the 1860s, immigrants from the province of Canada started arriving in the Red River colony, explained Mr. B. Some came to farm, others, such as Dr. Jean Schultz, came as land speculators, out to make their fortune when an expected immigration rush took place. When the Hudson's Bay Company sold 7 million acres of land to Canada, many residents of Red River were worried the Canadian government would not honor their land titles. A farm on the Red River settlement, October 11th, 1869. Ah! Whoa! Where'd you come from? Asked the stranger. I don't know, answered Echo. Well, come on, we have to go. The surveyors are over there, said the stranger. My name is Benjamin, by the way. Hold on. You there, says Louis Rial. You do not have permission to be on this land. There's Louis Rial. And he's accompanied by Jean-Baptiste. I am Major Webb. I am surveying this land on behalf of the Crown and Dominion of Canada. This is not a part of Canada yet, sir, said Louis Rial. This is Métis land. No one has given you permission to do this. We are tasked with surveying the entire area of Red River, said Major Webb. You cannot stop us. We are here under the authority of Stop before I make you stop, exclaims Jean-Baptiste. Sir, we want no violence, says Louis Riel, but we must ask you to stop this. You cannot do this. This is Hudson's Bay's company own this land and everything on it. They sold it to Canada, said Major Webb. It belongs to the Dominion of Canada now. Red River doesn't belong to Canada yet, says Louis Riel, and the HBC doesn't own us or this land. You cannot, exclaimed Major Webb. We want no violence, sir, says Louis Riel, but we must ask you to leave. Hurrah! Do you think they will stop now? Asked Echo. No, answered Benjamin. I think they are just starting. Present day. Indigenous Student Leadership Council. And back at home. November 2nd, 1869. What's going on? Asked Echo. We've moved into the fort, answered Benjamin. The Métis have taken over and will make a provisional government with the English. We are going to fight for our rights. That's a good thing, right? Asked Echo. A very good thing, answered Benjamin. Now we can negotiate with Canada and not just be sold like cattle by the Hudson's Bay Company. Come on. There will be no violence, says Benjamin. We are resisting, but the HBC officials have left the gates open for us. Isn't this like a rebellion? Asked Echo. Meanwhile, at the border, William McDougall arrives. You will go no further, exclaims the military chief of the Métis, Ambrose. You will not enter the Northwest Territory. I am the Governor General appointed by the Prime Minister of Canada, exclaims William McDougall. You will move aside. We will not, sir, says Ambrose. You best fix your camp here. You are going to be in for a long winter. Back at the fort. Mon ami, exclaims Benjamin. We're really going to fight these unjust policies and win. Meanwhile, Louis Riel is speaking with Jean Bruce and Father Joseph Noel Richaud. Keep track of everything we use, Louis Riel exclaims. We are not thieves. What about court? What about the council? Asks Dr. Cohen. Do not worry, Dr. Cohen, says Louis Riel. We will replace the Council of Assiniboia with a provisional government. Surely you understand, disagrees Dr. Cohen. Canada will see this as a rebellion. We are not part of the Dominion yet, Dr. Cohen, answered Louis Riel. We are still free men in our home territory. We have rights here, all of us. Can you stay a while? Asked Benjamin to Echo. I would like to, answered Echo. Me too, mon ami. Meanwhile, Jean Schultz, Canadian Party founder, and his associate Charles Marr are meeting. Take this letter. This letter is the Métis List of Rights, adopted February 3rd, 1870, in the Canadian Northwest. Some of these rights include that while the Northwest remains territory, the sum of $25,000 a year will be appropriated for schools, lands, and bridges. That the English and French languages are common in legislature and courts, and that all public documents and acts of the legislature are published in both languages. That treaties be concluded between the Dominion and the several Indian tribes of the country as soon as possible. November 1869, the courtroom. General Quarterly, Court of Assiniboia, Judge John Black presiding. Yes, sir, that is the man who attacked me. Thomas Scott, you are found guilty of aggravated assault and are hereby fined £4. So what? Complains Thomas Scott. Are these half-breeds ruling us now? Don't worry, we have a plan, answers his associate. We should imprison them and keep them out of trouble. We should go out and meet them. We can do so without bloodshed, explains Louis Riel. There's already talk of escape, says Ambrose. That Scott fellow is a troublemaker. Let them talk, says Louis Riel. We will continue on with our work and get our list of rights finished. We need to hold a conference and get representatives from every parish. Everything seems to be going okay then, says Echo. Better than okay, exclaims Benjamin. Everyone is at peace and our leaders have a plan. We won't lose our land. Present day. Indigenous Leadership Bake Sale. Back at home. The Canada Firsters did indeed escape their makeshift prison at the fort. In January 1870, they gathered in Kilidon to plan another insurgency, this time led by Thomas Scott and Charles Bolton. Sensing the rising risk on their own lives, Charles Marr and John Schultz fled Red River for Ontario. At the behest of John A. Macdonald, Donald Smith, HB official and major railroad investor, arrived at Red River to get the provisional government and its supporters on side. At first, Smith tried to bribe supporters, but when he realized many wouldn't be bought, he tried appealing to their reason instead. February 17th, 1870. People are fighting. Didn't this already happen? Asked Echo to Benjamin. The Canada Firsters tried to attack the fort again, explained Benjamin. They said they were going to kill Riel, but instead 2 other men were killed, Norbert Persian and Hugh Sutherland. Rumor is the leaders will be executed of the Canada Firsters, explained Benjamin. Riel, you have stayed the execution of Bolton. Now you must do the same for Scott. This is madness. This is not up to me, Smith, sighs Louis Riel. It is up to the committee in the courts. March 4th, 1870. Execution Day. The next day, Bishop Tosh, Archbishop of St. Boniface, arrives home from Rome. I come with an invitation from the Canadian government. They have agreed to talk. We must send delegates and negotiate at once. Ah, some good news, exclaims Riel. We will not forget to get amnesty for all involved. We pray for this, says Louis Riel. Do you think MacDonald will keep his word and give us amnesty? He says he will, says Louis Riel, in good faith. We can only pray he will keep his word. July 21st, 1870. They have sent the army under Colonel Wolseley on a mission of peace. They will come and take over. We have our act. We are now a province. But did they grant us those who resisted amnesty? Asked Louis Riel. They said it is coming. We have to trust them, Lepine, says Louis Riel. They have been true to their words thus far. August 22nd, 1870. The Canadian Army is close, my friends, camped at the stone fort. They are tired and itching for a fight. There is no love for us there. Many of the volunteers are Orangemen, like MacDonald. The Orange Order was a pro-monarchy Protestant organization from Ontario, strongly anti-Catholic and anti-French. Mayor and Schultz have been busy in Ontario turning the Canadians against us, said Ambrose. So much for peace. Present day. Echo is crying. Couldn't sleep either, hey? Asked Echo's foster mom. Bad dream, said Echo. Oh, that's worse. Anything I can do? Asked her foster mom. I miss my mom, says Echo. I know, my girl. Me too. Me too. Back at school. March 3rd, 1870, a committee convicts Thomas Scott of treason against the provisional government, exclaims Mr. B, the history teacher. March 4th, Scott is executed by firing squad. The execution sparks a movement of revenge by Ontario Protestants against the Red River Métis, and the Ontario government offers a bounty for Riel's capture. A previous promise of amnesty for those involved in the execution is withdrawn. The Manitoba Act, passed May 12, 1870, comes into effect July 15th. In May, MacDonald sends Colonel Wolseley and an armed force of 1,200 men to ensure the peaceful transfer of power from the provisional government to Canada. Arriving in August, Wolseley's men, many of the members of the Orange Order and others from the British Army, seek revenge on Riel and his men for Scott's execution with looting, beating, and murdering. Riel and Lepine flee south to the U.S. After the resistance, despite his election to Parliament on 3 separate elections, Riel, wanted for Scott's murder, remains in exile for several years, explains Mr. B, the history teacher. September 1870. Benjamin? Benjamin! Calls Echo. The army got here, exclaimed Benjamin. They have been relentless. They've killed people, mon ami. They terrorize anyone, especially anyone who supported the provisional government. Riel has fled for his life. Ontario has put a price on his head, explained Benjamin. So many people want to leave. No one feels safe here anymore. We will seek refuge further west. We have relations already in communities like Willabunch and Batouche. Goodbye, mon ami. To be continued. Oh, that was such a sad story. It is such a sad piece of Canadian history, beautifully told through these amazing illustrations. What did you guys think? I really liked this volume. I think I liked it a lot better than the first one. There was definitely a lot more dialogue and beautiful imagery, and the relationship between Benjamin and Echo was just beautiful. There is a 3rd volume in this series. It was just published this past February. We don't have it quite yet, but you best believe when we do, I'll definitely be reading it. I hope you guys enjoyed the book. Comment down below, what was your favorite part? Were you surprised by anything? How is Echo traveling through time? I would really like to know, because that's a cool superpower. So this was Red River Resistance, the 2nd volume in the graphic novel series called A Girl Called Echo by Katharina Vernet. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone, today. We hope to see you soon. Stay safe, enjoy the sunshine at a safe physical distance, and yeah, bye now.